Ha ha, my friends! It is I, Alphinius Goo, yes, here at Gooey headquarters, with Lawrence behind the camera. Say hello, Lawrence.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Look, he has a muscle shirt on. He's trying to look burly. Yes. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, Lawrence. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing so far so good. Camera Mandy's setup wasn't too much. I don't think I broke
Oh, yeah, you broke
everything.
everything. She's going to be totally pissed.
Oh, probably. I wouldn't
She's
blame
going
her
to come back
too.
and goes, Lawrence, every time Lawrence comes in here, he messes up everything in my studio.
That's very accurate.
Hey, take off Goo Morning Zyathé. We'll be starting soon
Oh, that
because we have
actually
already
makes
started. Yes. Hello, my friends. And I think there are some new people here who have never been in the Goo before. So welcome all you newbies, if there are new Goos out there. So do us a favor, if you are a new Goo, or even if you are an old Goo, haven't done this yet, give us a little follow on this Twitch channel, right? And take a moment to do that. And then one thing, I send out these invites, which is the most biggest pain in the butt you ever had. I'm going to show it to you. One of these days, I will show you what a pain in the butt Facebook makes it to give out these invites on Facebook. So I send them out. But it would help if you, when you get one of those invites, if you just say, yes, I'm coming, maybe I'm coming, or no, I'm not. Maybe is better than no, though, even if you're not coming. I think it helps with the algorithm and really helps us to not have quite as much trouble to invite people to events. In any case, that is my commercial for today. Yes, well, there'll probably be a number of other commercials, but we'll work our way through that, as it were. So, Lawrence, we have not, oh yeah, twitch.tv/the Gooey Cube. That's where we're on right now. But you can also, I think you're also watching us, folks can watch us on Facebook. Yes, Lawrence?
Yes, we're available on our Gooey Cube page on Facebook, and we're also inside of our amazing Facebook group, the Gooey Game Masters that have enlightened.
Which is the worst name ever. We're going to change that name. In fact, we'll do a contest to rename the Gooey Game Masters Den of Enlightenment so it's not so damn long.
You realize then it is going to be, what would it be? Gooey McGoo Face is going to be our new
Oh,
Facebook.
Gooey McGoo Face.
That's going to be our new Facebook group name.
That is not going to be our new Facebook.
If you open it up to the public, that's what it's going to be.
Gooey McGoo Face group. Yes, that's not good. Although now that you mentioned Gooey McGoo Face, we might need to have a character named Gooey McGoo Face. I want to know what the chat's saying about this. All you snarky chatters out there, yes, Gooey McGoo Face. I don't know about that. That sounds really weird to me. What is this little thing that keeps moving around on the screen? So I have a new screen because we're doing StreamYard. Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm double checking some sound issues. It sounds like it could be. They're saying our sound is coming in a little bit choppy. I'm going to verify that because it's not something on our end. But
choppy sound. So we need to address the choppy sound. So are lots of people hearing choppy sound? I actually can look at the chat when we're on StreamYard. Camera Mandy doesn't use StreamYard, as you know. She prefers something different. So, oh yeah, Harry is saying very choppy. What do we do? Do we need to restart?
give me 1 second. Let me see if I can go through and work something on my end.
Okay, he's going to try to work something on his end and see if we can fix that. Very, very much. Choppy chop sound. Yes, that was funny. Yes, it's Maggie's gonna be like, she's gonna be like, so I told you so to you, Lawrence. So,
100%.
so she's gonna be like, oh, you didn't get it right, you messed it up. Yeah, probably Maggie did sabotage. So anyway, my friends, listen, it is. I apologize. We'll try and fix this choppiness. And deal. I see that, Laura. Yes, snail slime on the cords. Anyway, wow, yeah, job security. All right, so listen. So I'm very excited about this stream today, and I'm very excited about this upcoming stream on Saturday coming from a week from now. A week from now, we're going to have Gooey, I guess I can say Gooey, even though he is Gooey Luke on the stream. So Luke, I guess, is going to join us a week from today. And we're going to talk a lot of really interesting things about Guys and of course, what's going on there. But we're going to tell some secrets today. We're going to start a giveaway. We're going to do a number of marvelous things to try to give you a little bit of a preview as to what's going on, and all of that kind of stuff. So, what do you think, Lawrence? You think we got this fixed, or do you think do you think we need to restart something, or what are you thinking?
I'm going to do one thing really quick just to see if it fixes it.
Okay,
choppiness there, but sound is low.
We're trying one thing. It's choppy and low.
Okay, so
as many people know, sound is much better now. You did something very good, Lawrence. So just so you all know, this is important. For those of you who are new, this is an extraordinary. Oh, Lawrence just spilled sunscreen. This is a low-budget production. So whenever everything is screwed up, just know that that's why it is. So what is that little thing that keeps moving around on the screen, Lawrence? So I have a screen here that I get
You
to
mean
look
my
at.
mouse?
Oh, that's your mouse. Oh yes, it's like a big square. It looks like it's got little thing. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you. Anyway, good. I'm glad the sound is good. So today we are going to have this magnificent discussion. We're going to do a giveaway today. We got a lot of fun things that are planned. But first of all, I want you to take a look, Lawrence. I know you can bring things up on the screen much faster than Camera Mandy, right? You can do that quickly.
I definitely am comparable by like a degree measure lower.
Let's bring up the Guys and Gacks Kickstarter page.
I can do that. I'm prepared for that.
I figured you were prepared for that because we have lots of things to talk about. But I'm not just talking about Guys and Gacks today. We're going to talk about Mornwood because we are so excited about shipping Mornwood. It is finally going. So we got that. I want to talk about Darkenhaven. There is so much to talk about today, and we only have an hour, so I got to get it done. So here's the Kickstarter page. So, wow, Lawrence, look at that. That is incredible. My friends, cheers to you. Thank you to all of you who have supported us in this endeavor. We are only now, what is that? What does it say, Lawrence?
$321,131 with between 1,663 backers.
That's amazing. That is just fantastic. Thank you, friends, so much for your support. Now, that means that we are only, about $3,800 or so, $3,900 or so dollars away from the next stretch goal. Which is one of our big discussion topics today, because the way you have it set up, I can see things and you can put things up. My friends, we want to have a chat with you today about additional stretch goals.
Oh, you want to see something really cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch
Show
this.
me something.
Bam.
Ooh. How did you do that?
You have this whole little thing in here that you can do.
But how did you know? How did you know? Oh, you set these up ahead of time.
Yeah.
You have secret setups. Ooh, very good.
It's actually supposed to scroll across the bottom. Maybe I have to make it longer in order to do that.
Well, I'm totally impressed. I think this is totally impressive. I think this is unbelievable. But anyway, so...
Yeah, but the biggest thing is throughout the entire chat, guys, you guys go ahead and just throw them in regardless of wherever our conversation's at. I'll save them, and then Alphinius will cue me in saying, hey, man, what stretch goals has the audience want? And I'll go through and I'll put them up on screen for you guys. So that way you guys can make sure they get shouted out straight to the top.
Okay, well, first of all, let's go back to the chat so I can see what's going on. So listen, let's take a moment here before we start throwing in these heck, people are already doing it. So
Too late.
As you know, we are always very aggressive with stretch goals, and we have been very aggressive with stretch goals thus far. We have some magnificent things that are in there already, and we have a ton planned. Now, there's a secret stretch goal that's going to be announced very, very soon in an update. Then we'll talk about it on Saturday, and that is when this Kickstarter reaches $500,000, but it must happen by a certain date, and we're going to tell you the secret date. When the Kickstarter reaches $500,000, Luke and I have already going to contribute $1,000. There's a marvelous charity that we will speak about soon, and Luke and I will get slimed on stream in public at GaryCon when we hit this $500,000 stretch goal. So tell all your friends, tell everyone, if you want to slime Luke and Alphinius, it's going to have to happen by a certain date, though. It's not going to be like by the end of the Kickstarter. It probably is going to be somewhere around March 15th that we have to reach $500,000 to raise this money for charity. So $1,000 is the beginning of the money. And then we're hoping we're going to raise more money and be able to give a nice check to this charity. Again, all this is kind of secret. It's hush-hush, but all of you get to get all the secret stuff usually on Goo Morning ahead of time, as we know. All right, let's talk about some stretch goals. So let's throw up a couple here and let's talk about them a little bit, Lawrence. And
Sure.
don't be afraid to jump in there yourself. So stretch goals, as you can see when you go down the page. By the way, go back up real quick just for people to know. There's not many of these left. If you want actually to have your portraited character in the tale, the Guys and Gacks tales, along with all the legends, this is something you should explore, because not only will you get your character portrait and all that stuff, you'll actually be a part of Guys and Gags, and I really believe it's a part of history. But we're not talking about that right now. But if folks are interested, that is an interesting. Oh, then one other thing for all you international backers. Make sure you read this little section right here, because we are doing nice things for you. Because for those of you in the U.S., you might not know, it is very expensive to ship things to most other countries. They add not just shipping charges, but import duties. And so we're trying to do a little extra giveaway. We're giving away some free product to our friends overseas, north and south, to help offset some of those really outlandish costs. I mean, in some cases, you could be paying literally almost double what you would normally pay. So we're doing that. All right, so let's just do the stretch goals real fast before we start talking. So just so everyone understands, the way the stretch goal chart works, on the left column is for those stretch goals for people who pledge for only the adventure or only the campaign, okay? If you pledge at either one of those tiers, you get all the stretch goals on the left. If you pledge for the campaign and adventure bundle or any of the higher tiers beyond that, you not only get the stretch goals on the left, you get the stretch goals on the right as well. So it's really, really compelling. That bundle at $200, if you've done the Gooey Haul already, and you're starting to get these, you're literally getting already, before we've even started, hundreds of dollars in stretch goals value. It's crazy.
And you have two references right on your desk in front of you to help kind of differentiate possibly between the two.
That was helpful, Lawrence. So this is our faked Tomb of Guys and Gags. It has not been created yet,
No.
but this is the adventure and campaign GM reference book, right? So this is the adventure. Well, it's part of the adventure. You know, we have lots of other stuff. And then over here is the magnificent lore books, faked lore books for the environs of Guys and Gags. And this is all the area. So this is the adventure in the Tomb of Guys and Gags, where you meet the ghost of Geralt, Guys and Gags, and all of that stuff. And this here is all the stuff that's going on all around it. So this is very sandboxy and a place for lots of travel.
Campaign setting.
Yes, it's a campaign setting. It will also have the most interesting two little towns that are in this tale, Blun and Ethholm. Yes, magnificent, Lawrence. I'm so excited for this. And we'll have those illustrated by Edvard, who does these marvelous maps for us, and just fantastic. By the way, again, my friends, all humans doing our artworks, all humans writing our stuff. No robots. So we are that is what we do. All right, so let us continue down. Let's show just a few of these, and then we'll start asking folks. So this is one thing that people have been waiting for a long time. So the Infernathé are the fireborn people of the world of Zyathé. And the fireborn, in the world of Zyathé, many gods had to get together, or a number of gods had to get together to create a race, a group of people, right? And they would do this after Alvova had created the hominids, the humans, as a model for them to go on by. And so in the creation of the Sarth, there was a number of gods who did this. They petitioned the fire sovereign to give a blessing to the Sarth, as like the Maroon were blessed by the water sovereign, right? As the Etherians were blessed by the air sovereign, right? And as the Garund were blessed of the earth sovereign. All right.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Oh yes, Lawrence, this is magnificent. So the Maroon and the Etherian people, and of course these marvelous
Infernathé?
No. What are I forgot which one I was talking about. Anyway, the three of them,
The Garund.
right? The Garund, yes, yeah. The Garund are all blessed of the sovereigns.
Yeah.
So they're actually kind of very special.
Yeah.
Right. So this is cool. So anyway, so at the last moment, for still what is unknown, why the fire sovereign withdrew the blessing from the Sarth and gave it to the Infernathé.
I like that.
This is why all believe that the Sarth are insensate to arcane magic, which has actually become somewhat of a blessing to the Sarth, because if they have the skill and capability and are of pure blood, they actually can cut the flow stones and make them usable by others. But beyond that, they also are less affected by the toxicity of flow stones, generally, if they are pure blood Sarth. but they can't cast arcane spells, not as wizards, not as sorcerers, or any other thing like that. So this is a marvelous lore about the Sarth. Did you know all this? Did you not know this?
No, what's crazy to me is I actually heard you talk to it about Ed Greenwood during our launch party, and it didn't click for me. But I really like how you include. I really like how that already includes in because I assumed when I saw this that there was just going to be 3 more races that were all. But I like that they're already the races are already blessed. And then I like that whole thing with the Sarth creating that kind of dynamitism.
Yes.
With now the Infernathe showing up.
Now, if everyone knows the world, the way the world is set up, there is this crazy, scary place in the center of the world on the map. It's not in the center of the world, obviously the world is circular, called Crooks, which used to be called, right, Resplensia, which was where the Eterns, the heart of their civilization, was on that continent. Now, when the Infernathe were created, they were placed on the eastern side of Sundestia, which is the southern continent below. Don't worry about it, Lawrence. We're going to move quickly.
I'm not pulling it up for them. I'm pulling it up for me.
Anytime
you reference the world, I'm like, all right, let me go look at a map. Hey, I actually got one behind me.
Anyway, the Infernathe were placed on that eastern side of the world of the Sundestia, which is the southern continent below Verdestia.
Oh, okay, so it'd be down here.
And when Crooks blew up, right, when the whole Woe of Ruin happened and all of this terrible thing happened, right, that wave that came out and destroyed most of the eastern side of Sundestia, destroyed most of the Infernathe people.
Gotcha.
And so these are the Fireborn, and we are so excited to bring them to life. We have wonderful artworks. I'll probably show some more pictures as we go through the Kickstarter, but I can't wait for people to experience the Infernathe. I can't wait for players to experience the Infernathe. They have some flaws themselves, but fire is not a flaw. So then let us continue. We'll do this really quickly. So this is magnificent. Harry did this wonderful sculpt of Lukaj Geisengax. And you'll see some of Harry's sculpts as we go forward in here. We're excited to show them. And then we begin with corrupted magics, which people have been asking, corruptic magics. So this is a marvelous little beginning supplement, and these are in chapters now. So as you add to the stretch goals, you add to these supplements. Let us continue down, and we'll just do these quickly. So the Fawns was created by Luke. This is actually a character that he created when he was but a kid. And we are bringing the Fawns to life, as well as other monsters that are fun for Geisengax, as well as you can see Bushira, who is Lukaj's adventuring companion, his wife. And let's keep going. So then down below this, you see we have the Gloomstrider, which is a magnificent class of the Sa'akrade. And you don't know what some know of the Sa'akrade. This is a Sarthic skill, and they use weapons that are loosely inspired by the Bala, which is the, I think that I pronounced that right, which is the marvelous weapons used by the Klingons. And then we have more artworks that we're adding. We have more to the corruptic magics. We have Miriam right there, who was one of Lukaj's daughters, marvelous sculpt by Harry. Then here we talk about the Sa'akrade, which are the weapons that they use. And of course, you can see Sabrina there, right there, and then keep going on, because this is just outrageous how many of these stretch goals.
I was going to ask you, so do you already have in mind like what kind of special weapon characteristics you're going to include for those?
They are flowstone imbued.
Okay.
So a Sa'akrade has the flowstone capabilities. If it is a true Sa'akrade that was not just crafted, because they will sell Sa'akrade that are not flowstone imbued,
right.
But the guild tries to keep control of the flowstone distribution, as well as the flowstone cutting, as well as, of course, these weapons that they create, these flow blades and these Sa'akrade.
So there's like the anime store version where I pick up a katana.
Yes, correct.
It's like,
yes,
so there's those Sa'akrade shops, and then there's like the legit Sa'akrade.
Yeah, that's right.
If you were running a group, what level do you think you'd end up giving? You would be on the table for.
Honestly, I think it could be. Again, you'll see legendary items. We talk about them, but they could be very low level, right? Mm-hmm. A minor flowstone insertion that gives it the capability of just like a +1 weapon. But you could have all kinds of interesting capabilities, right? Because you're literally imbuing these things with fire, with water, right? With various magical spell capabilities. I mean, the Sa'akrade, I think, are going to be magnificent, and people are going to love them.
Nice.
And even though the Sarth have done their best to try to keep a hold of them, there are definitely Sa'akrade users and wielders who are not Sarth.
Awesome.
So then we have, of course, this magnificent thing that Casey wants to contribute, and we've been talking about it, called the Aethernist, which is basically a lore master type class archetype that is going to be expert in Aethernic lore and tries to use Aethernic things, right? So that's what we're doing. Then we got more artworks down below here. This is crazy. I mean, Lawrence, look at how many stretch goals we've unlocked.
You do realize you have like an entire separate like Kickstarter and stretch goals.
I know, it's outrageous. It's so, but again, you know, and Mandy's mad at me, but we did do these only in digital, right? Because if we tried to do these in physical, we would go broke. But you're going to be able to order the physical versions of these as an add-on, and we promise the price is not going to be stupid. It's not going to be $200 or anything silly like that. It's going to be a very reasonable price to give more value to our backers. All right.
I do really appreciate, for the folks who are still posting up their stretch goal ideas in the comments, those of you who are putting stretch goal at the front of it, it just makes it really easy for me to save them for later. So really appreciate the folks who are doing that.
So then we have the Infernal. And the Infernal is just like the Aquason of the Maroon, yes? And the ones for the Etherean and the Garuns as well. This is the fire user, the fire wielder, the magist, who can truly, you know, bring this fire to the table. And we had not done the Infernal in the earlier materials. And of course, all of this will come together in our marvelous lore book, the Cyclopedia Hominica, the Cyclopedia Personaca. We're not sure we're going to title it yet, but with all of these marvelous new classes, new archetypes, and of course all of these wonderful races that we have in the world of Zyathé, plus a few that haven't even come together yet.
Do you have a preview of what mechanics would make this different than just, for instance, a wizard who just leans towards all the fire spells?
I'm not going to bring it up right now because you will put me in a spot, but then people will challenge me on it in the future. But yes, we already have some ideas, and if you've checked out the Aquason, or you know, you would know kind of how we did it with that one as a particular, or the Etherean version, or the Garund specialist. So we're excited about that. All right, so then what do we have here? Is that the next one, or is that one above it? I can't remember.
No, so yeah.
Oh yeah. So then we have we have monster pogs. So these are little printable pogs that you can print and use on your tabletop, or you can also use them in VTT gaming, that kind of stuff. And next to it is one of Mike's favorites. Mike wanted us to do legendary items. So we're going to start building some legendary items that can actually level with characters and all of that kind of stuff. And you all, I can't tell you, we're going to go through a lot of these stretch goals here in just a minute. Thank you for putting these up. Helpful. And also, if you want to help us a little bit, take a moment and go to the Kickstarter page and put some of these in the comments section. Because for Kickstarter, people who comment in that doggone Kickstarter comments area, they love it, all right? And Kickstarter boosts us and tells people about us. And so those comments in that Kickstarter section, especially if they keep going over time, really, really help us to get more backers. And you know what more backers means for you, my friends? More backers means more stretch goals. And you know how we are. We are this way because I am this way, and Camera Mandy gets mad at me all the time. So stay with where we were, Lawrence. We'll do this in a minute. So thank you for doing that, though. We'll show people that in a second. So then we have, after the Infernal, there it is. We have the Pogs and the legendary items. Then we are going to also do this. So this is a nod to our marvelous Gary. So what we're going to do is the BBEGs and special things that come against the party inside of these tails are going to get some super deadly things, okay? And we're going to add that and make a little supplement for that. So if you want to make the BBEGs like super deadly, like kill the party, right? That kind of stuff, just for the fun of having a sort of a Gary-like, sorry we killed your character experience and all of that kind of stuff, we're going to make that. And we might do it with some traps and puzzles and other things as well. So we'll talk about that more. Then next we have special spells. So we're going to make a series of special spells that are old school flavor, even though they're new. And Luke and I have already been talking about this. We've been talking about it with the Gooey team and the Gaxi team, and we're really, really excited to bring this to the table. And then we have NPC Pogs. So these are based on our NPC artworks. And so we're excited to bring those to the table. We love them. We think they're going to be a lot of fun.
We do have one person inside in the chat that I'm going to go ahead and highlight right now. This
Yes, do it.
Request for the Pog designs is if you could adjust the backgrounds, make them lighter so it's an easier contrast for when you're playing VTT.
That's actually a very good suggestion. So, Lawrence, how do we remember this? So, Andy,
I write it down because I'm the official note taker of Gooey
Lawrence,
Cube.
without Lawrence, I would be dead. I just want you all to know this. The overwhelming nature of what's going on with this Kickstarter is unbelievable. And the team here, as the Gooey team, has been fantastic. Luke's Gaxi team has been fantastic. Luke has been fantastic. And we are just at our wits' end. But we have not slept much. And we are working very, very hard to make this thing incredibly special.
You know what I say about that, right?
What's that, sir?
All things are possible through our Lord and Savior, caffeine and Adderall.
Yes, caffeine and Adderall. Yes, Adderall especially. And scotch. Cheers, my friends. Cheers. All right, let us scroll down a little bit. More artworks. So we're adding more artworks to it. And here's the next one that I am so excited because many of you have been asking for this. Corruptic magics. There are those who do try to harness this, and they are not necessarily trying to do it for evil. Yes, the Crooksic Sorcerer, a playable class that we think is going to be very interesting. Now, there will be some flaws with this. There will be things that happen to your body, right? To your mind. These kinds of things that go along with Crooksic Sorcery. But we are very excited. People have been asking, please, can we know about Corruptic Magics? Can we know about the Crooksic Sorcerer? Blah, blah, blah. This is the first of the Crooksic classes that we will bring to the table. And then the last one, which we just unlocked, which I'm very excited about, and we are very close to unlocking the next one. Stay with that one. This is Ghostly Gerald, the STL, sculpted by Harry, and we're going to do some other Geralds. We can't wait to show them to you. And then the Legends Pogs, and you can only get the Legends Pogs if you buy if you back at the bundle level. And this is
where you do this to signify both.
Both, yes, both at the bundle level. You
There
can
you
only
go.
get the Legends Pogs if you do that. But we're very excited to bring them to the table. And guess what? We have more Legends coming. A number that are going to be put up that are just starting to come in.
I think we have like 8.
8 more. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, Lawrence, what I told you, this is going to be historic. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, because it's being done by us and not some megalithic corporation, our limited editions really are limited. Mm-hmm. And so the potential for the value of them and all that kind of stuff going forward. By the way, like 50 people have ordered the autographed version. So, already 60 people have. I don't remember, but I think the potential for the value of this would be ridiculous in the next 20 years. I mean, I don't know. I'm a collector. It might be worth absolutely nothing. So.
I mean, for me, what I think about is that, like, obviously it's hard to think past probably about a year and a half and stuff as we fully roll it out, fully get it shipped and everything. But this is chapter 1 of the Guys and Gax environs.
Yes.
And so even though absolutely we're gonna, inside talking about in the village of Ethholm and Blund and all that kind of stuff where you're gonna feature a lot of these folks, that doesn't mean that they're not gonna be featured in the chapter 2, the chapter 3, the chapter. It's a whole thing.
And more legends. Mm-hmm. So. All right, so I don't know where we are, but we're darn close to unlocking the next one, right? So this is the one that we're just darn close to unlocking right here, which is the second of the legendary items and the second of the Monster Pogs set. So you better look, Lawrence. I bet we're close.
You think we're close?
I don't know. Has anybody even said so? We got to look.
Not yet.
Just take a quick peek.
321,403.
Well, there we are. So we'll see. We're also in the dog days, Lawrence. So it's going to crawl up a little slower than it might normally do. But still, very, very exciting to be at this place. And thank you all for doing this. So all right. So let's talk about some stretch goals. Let's look at some things that people.
All right. So let me go ahead and pull this guy off screen here.
Yes, there it is.
I only have 61 starred messages.
Oh my
so
goodness
here we
gracious.
go. All right. So first one, we also have 600K for the Gooey shorts.
So I actually think we should do Gooey shorts. It would have to be an add-on, obviously. But those Gooey shorts, people are laughing about those. Which I think it says got Gooey or something. Got Goo on the rear.
Oh, I got you. You got to give me. There we go.
Yes, so
Bam.
got goo on the rear. So this is geeky. So do people like this? If you like this, let us know. That's pretty fun. What's the next one?
I told Geeky Hoodie, you get me the shorts, I'll wear them to the gym.
Yeah,
Like,
listen. I actually would get a pair of shorts of these. Now you know Ms. Goo. You know, even though she is a little older, right? She has still got a fine little figure, that Ms. Goo. So I might have to get her a pair of these as well. So we could definitely do that as an add-on. So okay, so Strax, just want to tell you this. We are looking at this. It would have to be an add-on. We are also doing. I already know we are doing the Great Gooey red die. We've already talked to our friends from Roll for Initiative, and who are doing a Kickstarter right now, if you want to check them out. We are doing a big red gooey die with a skull on the inside, which will be an add-on at a very good price. It won't be no $15, $20 die. It'll be a nice, good price, and you'll get a little better deal if you backed at the higher tier levels. So we're doing that.
and just so you know, about 30 out of the 60 comments here are for dice. So
Yeah, I absolutely believe it. So we are talking to Roll for Initiative about doing a matching set for the for the red die, and I think we're going to do that. But it'll be an add-on because we just can't. As you can see, my friends, we're already putting with the Gooey Hall and all of this stuff. The value of the stretch goals is outlandish. So please tell your friends, right? And if you can stretch yourself a little bit, and you just got the adventure or just the campaign, stretch yourself a little bit and get to that next level, because the extra stretch goals just make it so much worth that additional incremental dollars if you can do it. All right. So what else we got there?
So guys and gats, shirts and hats. Now,
Oh yes. So we're doing one with Chet already for sure. We are going to do. So Chet is going to do a Guys and Gaks fun shirt image, and then we're going to do that. So
what I also want is I want a tank top with either Alphinius or Luke or both stretching that says stretch goals on it.
well, we have to talk to Luke about that, because he does this workout thing. He's doing this marvelous thing to help gamers get more in shape. Lord knows I need it, and so maybe we can. You saw his shirt that says "Be Swolder."
Oh yeah.
I thought that was quite hilarious. I'm sure it's been around, but it's pretty funny.
I always have a Temple of Pump and Iron inside of my campaign, whatever it is, just for fun. We got more classes and species.
Yes, I definitely. We're going to add more to the monsters. We're going to add more to the classes. We've already got that in the plans, Harry. So, is that Harry who said that? Or
Yep, Harry.
Yep. Yeah. So that's very much there. And then merch. Of course, we just talked about shorts and the new shirt. So we're going to do that.
All kinds of merch, all kinds of shorts, shirts, hats, all of the things. I'm not sure what this one is. One site let me create an event for the Kickstarter.
Chris, you got to email us about that. Let us know what that is.
More dice.
Yeah,
more dice.
I think it's definitely happening. I think the dice. We're very excited.
Escargot NPC and STL file.
And Chris put up yes, because Escargot, we could do that. I have to talk to Harry about it. By the way, y'all, do me a favor. Just take a moment, and if you give Harry a little love. I think you can subscribe to his thing on My Mini Factory for like $1.
Harry, post up your link in the chat, and I'll put it up on screen.
Put up your link. So Harry is sculpting these marvelous minis and has been doing so for a while, and he's really not trying to get rich off this. You can't get rich on $1 a sculptor unless you really have lots and lots and lots and lots of people, right? But he just wants to share his art. And his art is magnificent, and he's doing these wonderful things for us as part of this Kickstarter. So, just think about it. And for $3, you can get the premium sculpt. You can help him out. So check that out if you get a chance. Where are we at?
We also got Gooey Boxers.
Oh, yes. So there is the shorts, right? So there's the merch. Got Goo on the back, right?
I don't think those are short. I think boxers and the shorts are different, because the shorts are supposed to be able to wear to the gym.
Underwears.
Yeah.
Yes, of course they are. Then you put "Got Goo" on the front. Did I say that? Cameraman, he's not here. It doesn't matter.
I do think if we get some Gaxwork stuff in there, I think that'd be pretty cool.
We are. No, so we are having for some add-ons. Luke has already sent us an email, sent it to us on Friday late, and we have some things. So that's another thing, my friends. To help you get more stretch goals, we're about to make an announcement. It'll come out early next week. We're going to add add-ons to the Kickstarter, not just to the backer kit. So you can go in and do some very special add-ons now and help add to your stretch goal haul. Okay? So people have been asking about that, and we're going to do that. So let's talk about this stat tracker thing. Or what did you have up there? You had
so there's a stat tracker.
Gridded playing map for tabletop play.
Yep.
So we need to, Lawrence, this is one of the big projects when we get done with this Kickstarter. We're going to make sure that we are getting all of our maps, some of them already are, into this 1 inch equals 5 foot grid, and that available for people to be able to download and really give this capability to our people. Some of them we've done, we just haven't got them all done. And it's just simply, y'all just remember this, please remember this. This little Gooey game company is like 5-6 people in a phone booth, okay? It's right? I'm not lying, Lawrence, right?
If I could really show you guys the setup that I currently have as I'm trying to compile all of the Mornwood stuff, our hallway, if the fire marshal came right now, we'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Because I am stretched out all along the hallway as I'm getting all this stuff assembled and wrapped for you guys.
Listen, make sure you clean that up because now we would be destroyed if the fire marshal actually, if we had a fire. So make sure you clean that up. We don't want anybody to get hurt.
That's true.
So we need to work on that. So make sure that's on our thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I do like this Gooey dice prison.
So we have one.
I moved all of your stuff around.
That's okay. That was made a while back. That maybe I can reach out to the creator of this and we'll have a little
So
chat.
they were also talking about doing an STL file for a Gooey dice prison that's like a Gooey Cube.
Oh, Harry. We can talk about that. Might have to be a little add-on or something, my friends, but we have to talk about that. So, okay, so what else you got there?
Backers' names in the books.
All right, my friends. So here's what we could do. We could definitely do that. Lawrence, that has to be something we do. I want to thank every backer. We should have done it on the Mornwood. That should be something we do every time. That should be an unequivocal thing. But it's more than that, my friends, because especially if you're new and you don't know about the Contributors Guild, you are going to have an opportunity to actually contribute to Guys and Gags, to contribute to this historic thing that we are doing. Now, I'm not sure everyone is going to be able to contribute because I have a feeling we're going to get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of entries. But my plan is if we get too many to go in the actual physical book, we'll take many of them and put them up as digitals for people to get for free. So Guys and Gags is really not going to be just a project of Luke and me and the Gooey Gaxy team. It's going to be a project of our entire community. And I can't wait to do this with you. We've done this before. We did this for Gloomport. We did this for Darkenhaven. We did this for Mornwood. We have done this for quite a number of places. And we are going to do it with you as contributors as well. More to come. More to come. What else you got, Lawrence?
So we also have, we got that one. Second, the encounter. Oh, so we got more support for those encounter maps.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the actual location. So we're going to try to have some of those in here. Obviously, this is going to have all your maps, right? But in here, we're going to try to do more of those mini encounters, right? Because basically the campaign is not just locations, right? It's also mini encounters. Now, here's the thing about this, and I wouldn't mind some opinions on this. So we might have to go to the front of the chat so we can catch up on this. But we have typically not, in our campaign books, we have typically not put in stats because when you're in a campaign, you don't really know what level it could be for. And we want our campaigns to be usable across many, many levels. So we haven't done a whole lot of statting of encounters. But I had a thought, Lawrence, that we could put in this, we can't do it in the Mornwood, it's already done. But we could put in here what we call quick stats. And this is something that I've just been thinking about. And what we would do is put in, 7 or 8 stats, 10 stats for NPCs, fairly a rogue, a mage, that kind of stuff, with some very expansive, make it tougher, right, and make it easier, right? So we could put in those, and then we could put in some monster stats, right, that are just quick stats so people could do that. Would people like that, or is that just not enough? Because the campaigns, we really do believe they need to be more broad. And to be broad, you just can't put in stats for, taking on 6th level characters. You just can't do that because now the campaign is entirely structured so it's for 6th level characters. So it does require a little bit more work on our game master's part. But what do you all think about something like that? Sort of quick stats, maybe 20 to 30 stat blocks that give you something quick to refer to if you're running through the campaign, you just don't have time to stat up certain encounters.
I think if you did that, even if you labeled in the book, there's a really easy way to do this with a city guard or a town guard, which I'll get into. But for a general monster, even if it said generic monster, and you had, because really what do you need? You need generic monster, you need generic monster caster.
Yes.
That has some spells. Yes. But then basically, if you listed out the stat block for it, and then at the bottom, you just put a couple of special abilities
Yes.
that referenced, some kind of common monster stuff. So maybe like if they want to, they can throw on the acid attack with this
Yes.
monster because they're hitting this. Oh, this one has a fire claw thing.
Or this one shoots spines.
And you just
or
have that at
whatever.
and you just have that at the bottom, so that way, real quickly, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's because you guys are facing this thing," and it seems like it's a custom monster set up for the set, but it's really just, "Oh yeah, I'm just choosing one or two abilities from the bottom."
Spot on with what I'm thinking. What does the chat say? You are spot on with what I'm thinking.
I'm saying yes, stats please. Off the Miss Digital stats, yes. 1, 5, 10, 15. That's definitely something for the town guard.
The problem is 1, 5, 10, 15. When you start thinking about if you have, let's say we had 40 monsters in here.
Yeah.
40 monsters in NPCs or whatever, 50, right? The battle stats in there would be outlandish if you start talking about 1, 5, 10, 15. That's the problem with that. That's why also we did the make it tougher things, so we didn't end up having people have to just pour through all manner of stats. I love the idea of it. It's just the practicality of making it for all of those makes it much more difficult.
That's why, I mean, if you imagine for the 1, 5, 10, 15, again, if you had kind of like 4 generic monsters at at that level, and then again, you just have like the extra little add-ons you can throw in there. And I do think you probably need at a minimum 2. You need one for more spell casting focus, one for more melee focus.
Yes, correct. That's exactly right. I'm right there. Well, the thing is, people are saying them. Andy, I do. That's why we're thinking about quick stats and having them in the book, and then and then of course, obviously, with all of our monsters, you're going to get stats. With all of that kind of stuff. But even your NPCs, right? If you got a bunch of level 10 characters running around the city and all your NPCs are statted at level 3, I mean, what's the point, right? And by the way, that's another thing. We have done this for a long, long time. Just because a private in the army, right, is a private in the army doesn't mean that the private in the army can't be a really bad fighter, right? Badass is what I mean, right? Am I speaking the truth, Lawrence, right? Lawrence was a Green Beret, right? And I'm sure you had some privates that were definitely level 10.
I didn't because we're all sergeants, but that's besides.
But you had that you had under your command. No, you had no privates that were any good.
No, but I mean your best references.
Oh, I guess that's true. If you're a Green Beret, that's right. You started as a sergeant.
We're all NCOs.
That's right.
But your better references for that are looking like Audie Murphy. A lot of your different World War II references where you had actually your best reference is McNasty. He never got above PV2. I think it was James McNasty. And he actually led a platoon and that was what the Dirty Dozen was actually based off of, was his unit. But that's your best example right there.
So literally, they're a private and they're level 20. Basically. I mean, and again, that is realistic. That is more realistic in life, right? In real life. And of course, we're always trying for fantastical realism. So what do we got there? So keep scrolling there. So
I still got a whole bunch of stretch goals.
I want to go back to that, but I just want to finish this off because I've been reading this and there's some great suggestions in there.
So you have some that were already split out in like the GM reference book.
Yes.
I like Geeky Hoodie. How many more pages is that going to add?
This is why we got to be careful about doing, if we were going to do massive stats. I mean, it would make the books unwieldy and not as usable as they should be.
Well, for your NPC idea, one thing that I was kind of curious about is, so for instance, with an NPC, if you're coming against shopkeeper, magic shop, anything like that, you're probably not going to be fighting them. But what if they had a real quick stat block that's like, hey, here's the DC level for if you really wanted to get a discount with this guy. This is their negotiation modifier. And just putting forth like, hey, here's maybe like their quick skill block for relevant skill. That might be a quick way to do it, to have scaled stuff, have some stats in there in order to help the GMs and stuff be able to move that quicker and add some variety. So you're not running into the entire town full of third level.
No,
NPCs.
That's exactly right. And I'm seeing these suggestions are fantastic. By the way, just so everyone knows, in most of the larger municipality type areas, even the bigger towns, the magists guilds and the mercenaries guilds and others, including the syndicates, will, for fees, provide protections. Because if you think about it, in a magical world, in a world where rogues can just go invisible and all of this kind of stuff, right? How would you avoid not having your place just stolen just beyond belief. Everybody just getting stolen, things just stolen. So the way we answer that in a fantastically plausible fashion is that many shops and locations are warded. Many shops and locations have guardians, right? Even the Technic Artificitors will sell you automatons to help guard your locations. So this is a marvelous addition to the how the heck do they not get ripped off all the time, right? If they're just lobby slummos running a shop, right? Well, this is how, because there are things that have come into play to protect them. So anyway, I keep reading this. This is great, my friends. I'm going to reread this chat as we go forward. I can't tell you how much I appreciate.
We've gotten some great, and then
suggestions.
There's even, we barely touched the tip. There's some great ideas in the stretch goals.
No, we're going back.
Oh, you want to go back to stretch goals?
Absolutely, we're going back to the stretch goals.
All right, hat accessories. This one is a little, you may be surprised.
There's a possibility, Randy. I know you've suggested it before. There's another possibility too. Some things I really. Ed is my hero, as you know. I mean, I have a number of heroes in the gaming world, but Ed is probably the premier hero. And I would love to have Ed do some work with us. And I want to talk to him about it. I've already broached the subject. He seems amicable to doing so. And we'll talk more about that as we go forward.
Out of all the meetings that we have had throughout this entire thing, that meeting was the most fun. Because that dude was off the walls the whole time, and just, I know they say never meet your heroes. You can meet Ed Greenwood.
Yeah, you can.
I will give you the approval stamp for that one. Super excited to see that. I have no idea. Dr. Ransom Keys apparently he thinks I've been thwarting his thing to annoy you or something. I have no idea what's up with it. I don't know what you're doing to try and be annoying. I didn't notice it in the chat, so I'm sorry. Now, what's the difference between a random room fiasco deck and our already not so random encounters?
So I think this is talking about you're in a city or a location. In fact, you could qualify that a little bit. I think things that happen in rooms that you could just whip out really, really fast and have people be able to do it, and you aren't having to go even into the books. But that is our not so random encounters, right? I think just creating them in a deck that could be more easily accessed, I think, is what Dr. Ransom Keys is saying.
We got more Gooey Dice Prison.
Yeah, I think we'll have a chat about that.
Obviously, Party in Vegas. Like, why is that not on there? Alphinius, come on.
I would actually love that, but it would be so damn expensive. By the way, did you notice this, Genghis Khanites? Yes, I am wearing my stone butt medal or whatever, or iron butt medal or whatever they think it is.
IMGM award.
The Iron GM award, right? Which goes along with the iron butt. Anyway, it's fantastic. Thank you. All right, what else we got here? Let's see some more.
So this one was a little bit contentious. There were some people saying not a Savage Worlds in the chat. There were some people saying that they would really enjoy Savage Worlds primers.
Well, the thing is, here's the deal. Savage Worlds, there's a number. We're doing the OSE. We're already committed to that. We're going to work with Kelsey on figuring out how to do the most simplified version so it is applicable across multiple OS.
Check out Kelsey Dion at the Arcane Library, by the way.
Oh, she is fantastic. Magnificent. I loved meeting her. Anyway, so can't wait for that to come forward as part of this deal.
We're looking like some Legends Lore libations for Geisengax towns.
So we are doing it. It is called Lore Long Lost.
Okay.
So we will have for this as well a Lore Long Lost, which Legends Lore is fantastic. We have a number of them, right? We have one that's going out with the Mornwood, right? So we are very, very excited about these little travel guides inspired by Ed Greenwood's Volo's guides, right? That is what they are.
Again, so STL request for Gooey Cube Dice Prison. Harry was saying that was definitely doable.
We'll have a chat, Mr. Harry. We will have a chat about that.
This is actually just a regular question. Does the world of Zyathé have a dog-themed ancestry?
So just so everyone knows, one of the things that I've pushed back against is having lots of animal races. I want to have more unique and interesting races that are not necessarily just based on on snakes or elephants or hippopotamuses or dogs. Now, gnolls exist. They have existed from the beginning, and so they are definitely in there. And we have a smaller race of gnolls called nups, all right? So these are in the world. And so any of the things that are sort of traditional, we are not walking away from. We're not walking away from lizard folk. We're not walking away from any of those. But we're not going to be doing a whole lot of additions of that in that direction. We are going to much more move in the direction of the. Oh, we never showed that.
What do you want to show?
Can you take a moment and just go to the Kickstarter page for a moment?
Sure.
Because I think people are going to love this.
Where am I going to?
Go to the waterfall of the campaign. So, by the way, Steven put this waterfall together. Steven's one of our marvelous graphic designers, and Mike was the one who suggested it, and I think it really keeps.
He did such a great job at the 11th hour.
It was the 11th because we. Oh, nope, that's the adventure. Keep going up. So okay, slow down, go back down. All right, do you see there to the right of Camera Mandy? Do you see the Ain Fairy and the Zyathés? So these are going to be included in the campaign. And many know of the Zyathés, who are these marvelous little tiny peoples that we have created. But the Ain Fairy we are very excited about because many have asked. So we have the Noble Fairy, the Unseelie Noble Fairy. And they run the courts, and they are the leaders of the Fairy. But there are many little subgroups of the Fairy that we are going to bring to the tale in this Ain Fairy. And this would include some of the things you know about already, like pixies, right? These kinds of flogboggins, others like that, but also a number of new ones. And there's going to be a mechanic for sort of creating them because the Fairy are very chaotic. The whole thing is chaotic, and there are various different types of Ain Fairy who serve the courts, right? From the leprechauns, etc. You got all of this stuff from mythology that we're going to try to actually make real sense in the Fairy lore. We're very excited to bring the Ain Fairy and the Zyathés. And by the way, also, if you see next to that, also included in this box set is the Hatmancer, which yes, we're still thinking about the name. And underneath that, the Sa'akrade Master. So very
100% need a new name.
Listen, it is sort of canonical. The Hatmancer is not. Anyway, let us not have this debate right now. Let's go back to the stretch goals.
All right. I like this one actually. So it's gonna be stat blocks from the already. So like Kalnavik, some of your other major NPCs that we've talked about or referenced and stuff, being able to throw them in there.
So the thing is to do that as part of this kind of feels not right to me, right? You know what I'm saying? I love the idea of doing it because there are obviously some major NPCs in Verdestia, but I think that has to be part of the West Verdestia, East Verdestia, the combination lore book of the peoples. I think that's where we need to put that,
makes sense.
which is another damn thing we need to do. But I love the idea, Jim. By the way, if you go back up one more, I want to address this. So printing of STLs and shipping them is really not our game. It's not our bailiwick. And even Harry doesn't really like doing it. He will do it for people because he's a nice guy and all of that stuff. But the problem is to do miniatures that are really durable and got a little bit of, right, that's not typically done on a home printer. There's a much more toxic and difficult to work with substance that gives your miniatures more virility, right? They don't snap easily and all of that kind of stuff. But most people who home print their miniatures, it's hard to get that level of strongness in the miniatures with your home printers. And so we really would prefer that people generally just use a service unless they're okay with having the miniatures be a little more brittle, which is the only option that you really have. Because I agree with you, I have to do the same thing. I actually subscribe to a number of STL miniature companies that I love their works, and I have to go to a service to have them printed. It's the only way. Harry's being one of them, by the way.
Now, what I will say, folks, as a resource, if you guys do get an STL from like Harry, there is a public group called Makerspace. We have one here.
I have heard about this.
So we have one in Colorado Springs. There's a bunch of them all over the spot. But basically, you can go into Makerspace. I think they have a couple of different like membership levels, but it's like $15 or $20 a month. And they have 3D printers, CNC machines, laser cutters, all that like super expensive stuff that you can go in, you get trained on it, and then you can go through and make whatever it is for just the cost of the materials. So if that's something where it's like, I don't have a printer either, but that's an option too. If you look up Makerspace.
Lawrence, you and I are going to have a discussion because I got some minis to print.
Riley prints them. He has a printer.
But he doesn't have the. I didn't think he used the heavy juice.
Probably not. But
Yeah, the heavy juice is what I really want because the heavy juice, because you know the abuse they take at my table. The players get mad, they throw the miniatures, especially Lawrence's father. It's out of control. It's out of control.
it'd be funny if it wasn't true. But yeah, definitely check out Makerspace for if you want to look at printing. There's probably one near you.
So Rick, I like this idea of the Gurund, the one. Oh, you just grabbed one before that. So I want to talk about Pogs. We'll talk about that. So
Which one are you looking at?
So JC, you're talking about printed Pogs. We actually would print them.
Yeah.
Rather than just having them as printable, is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I think that's something we might be able to do.
I bet you Alex could do that.
Yeah, I think so. That's something. It's got to be thick enough.
Yeah.
Right. That's the key. They got to be able to have a little oomph.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then what is the bazaar of the bizarre entry?
The Bazaar of the Bizarre Entry. Do you have a
keep
name?
going, keep going. Let's
going.
just pass that. Wait, that one right there. 5 Flowstone.
Oh, that one right there. Okay, here we go. Bam.
So this is magnificent. I love this idea, and I think we could probably incorporate this into the legendary items. So let us keep that in our minds, right? And the Guys and Gags shirts, hats, boxes. Obviously, we're talking about that already. The grid maps, yes. What else am I? Adventuring charter rules. Okay, so
I've never seen that in a book, and I would love to see that, Alphinius.
all right. Listen, we're gonna put these down. So you got Mr. Notes. You're gonna have to go through this thing with me, and we're gonna have to do this, okay? Because there's some great ideas in here. There's some great ideas.
And you know what, like the add-on should be. You know that paper that you used to print the map? I think in chapter 2.
Yes.
But they should get shipped a adventuring contract that they could fill out for their table.
Yeah, I love that because I love the adventuring guilds, right? I love the political intrigue that can come from them, right? If you're not in a guild, right, you get kind of pressed to join a guild, right? You are protected by the guild, so they're a little bit mafia, right? All that kind of stuff. I just, all of this creates all this tension that you as a game master can bring these other little things to the table on the side. Right? So
we honestly should have done this like weeks ago for figuring out stretch goals.
No, this is great.
They have such better ideas than we have.
I don't agree with you. I think listen, y'all, I think some of our stretch goals are magnificent, but these are excellent too. So
stretch goal themed dice. Make Lawrence read this. No suggestion included. I don't understand the making me read things. That's confusing to me, Harry.
Keep going.
Here you go. Stretch goal.
Keep going.
That was that request to make sure that we adjust the contrast.
Yeah, the contrast. We're not going to forget that.
Taco recipe.
I'd do a taco recipe.
That's honestly what we should have done.
Do you know we did the roll for sandwich thing with Luke?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Roll for Sandwich, Luke did a sandwich. So really, really fun.
Stretch goal. Add more stretch goals.
Oh, the weigh-in fair thing too is getting a little weird in the world of Zyathé.
What's that?
Just trust me. Weigh-in fair is out of control. It's a shenanigan. There's a lot of
stretch goal, limbering up before exercise. Stretch goal, Roll20 version. So not only were they talking in the chat, they were not only talking about Roll20 version, they were talking about community built Roll20 version. I don't even know how you would organize that.
So I don't know how you do that either. It's hard and it's a lot of work. And Casey has done yeoman's work and Ben has done it on Fantasy Grounds. And they both do it because they want to run it that way, right? And then we give them a commission on any sales. But it just, first of all, it's just a plethora of stuff out there and it's hard for people to find our stuff. It is in our minds. I promise you, it is in our minds looking at this.
Now, this is something that I do think kind of tied into that would be if there was a way for us to kind of organize. A bunch of people have made stuff on Roll20, and so if there was a way for us to be able to be like, hey, this is our aggregate of the stuff our community has made as an option. I think that might be.
I want to do that because I also want to do the. We started down the road of trying to do this wiki, and it's just a lot of work, and people don't understand how much damn work it is, right? And even the community trying to help with it, it's a pain in the butt on the poor community members, right? And I understand it. We all got lives, and we got jobs, and we got families, and we got crises that happen in our lives, and we have wonderful events that happen in our lives, and it just takes you away from being able to do all this side crap.
Well, I think the truth of it is too, especially when I ran chapters 1, 2, and 3, I probably hit like 30% of the stuff. So when you actually get to trying to import all that into a VTT, your expectation is kind of the 30% that you probably hit when you ran it, and then when you figure out, oh no,
Right.
All of the detail that they throw in, and you have
Correct.
to throw in all of
It's
that.
brutal. Brutal.
But it's something. It's something that's going to keep on coming up, and I think we need to keep on looking for ways to do it. This is one that I think is.
So Mandy, I think, is going to do this, my friends. I think Mandy's going to do a few scenescapes. I don't know if they'll be heavy metal.
I mean, it's old school heavy
It
metal
is.
scenescape.
It is.
You know, some combat music.
We'll see what
We can go find some high schoolers right now, pay them like $50.
We have plenty of music resources, you know that way. And besides, we don't want no high school music. You know what the hell is going to be? That's going to be crazy.
This, I think, is something that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think we should look at that as well. That's something we have to talk about, right? And then Guys and Gags trousers.
Lots of clothes.
Yeah, I think merch is wonderful, right?
Again, I have no idea what you think I'm doing. Whoops, there we go.
Oh, there's a Gooey Dice throne too. We might be able to do that, Harry. We might be able to do a Gooey Dice throne, a little Gooey Cube that sort of molded itself into a throne.
Let's see here.
And we probably got more.
You did explain the Contributors Guild earlier, and that is, you guys can join that at here.
So did everyone get? If that's that we can. So Andy, I know this. We have talked about an online application, and we have the ability to make one. You just have no idea how much work it is. It's just outlandish how much work. But we do have the capability because of our little marketing company of being able to do that.
We do have this guy.
We have reached out. We'll see what happens.
And then the last one that I saw. Now I know there's more in the chat, folks. There's two like tabs, so I haven't been able to have the chat open.
This is what I was saying is so much work. This is what I'm saying. So but it's a chat. I know that Alexander and Riley and Mike all are interested in doing a little more stuff that we could give people. And this might have to be something we get enough people, we have to patron it.
Well, and what I will say, folks, one of the things just to understand when you see these apps and stuff like that is the first variable is Android versus Apple.
Right.
It takes work to go through and adjust them for both. Now, here's the other variable that a lot of people aren't realize. Every version of the operating system, which there's a huge span where everybody's on. Now, like, again, I'm an Android guy. I'm not like Apple that like forces you to upgrade to a new operating system and buy a new cell phone. But every operating system, you have to adapt that app for. So now you just changed from having one app to, two. And then when you go over the operating systems, now that's where 20. The work gets insane. Yeah. So just understand,
the only way it might work is it's not an app. It's actually a app. It's on a website, right? And it actually works on the website, and it would not have quite the level of functionality probably that an app might. I don't know. Anyway. It is another thing that is in our minds for sure. So
it's possible, folks. Just understand that between the 6 people that we have and everything that's going on, we're really trying to make sure that we are only promising what we can deliver on.
Yes, absolutely. And that's and frankly, you know, we've overpromised in the past, and I don't want to do that ever again.
All right. So that was the last one here, and now I'm working through the chat right now to figure out stuff. And while I'm doing this, Alphinius is going to talk about the Tomb of Guys and Gags.
So I do want to show you, first of all, this is some printouts of some of our initial magnificent
Hold them up flat.
Yeah, I apologize.
There you go.
So some of our initial prints of our portraited characters. There's Geralt, Guys and Gags the Ghost. This is a marvelous character made by Margaret Weiss, who is called Archibald Fox. This is Errol Otis's character. It's just, and it goes on. And of course, we got some marvelous non-legend characters that you will meet in Blund. There is marvelous Ed's character, who is Rorondrel. Here is Stefan Pokorny's marvelous character. And here is Abu Shira, Guys and Gags. And of course, Matt Everhart, magnificent Casey Rift, wanted to do an Inzandra Oz and came out just magnificently. Can't wait to have this marvelous character in Guys and Gags. And there's one of the daughters. I think this is I think that's Sabrine. Yes, I think it is. I can't remember the name of the character off the top of my head, but I think so. And then this is Skip Williams and Peter Haas Wezekost. And by the way, I don't think Peter was a surfer dude for Wizards of the Coast. But there's a marvelous Garund. Oh, look, it is Chet Minton's magnificent character right here. Yes, so there you are, Chet, if you're watching, you're right there. So anyway, lots of wonderful, wonderful portraits that will be in here and more coming.
There's something you can show off to your back left as well if you wanted to.
Oh, yes. Just for everyone's sake who have been wondering, we are just about to start shipping. Here is the Mornwood. There is the book. So all of you who were wondering how magnificent this was going to be, this thing is huge. So this is just the adventure, the campaign right here. Look at that, my friends. It is beautiful. Artworks everywhere. Incredible materials, all of that stuff.
Can I go get Blood for the Con so they can see the thickness comparison between Mornwood and Blood for the Con real quick?
No, don't do it. Because I don't want to, I'm going to get this done. Just trust him.
It's like twice as thick.
Yes, everyone who was wondering how big it was going to be, it's just, it's just, in Blood for the Con is just an adventure, it's just an adventure. This is the campaign, right? And it is huge. Look at all those stats and monsters and all kinds of things that are in here that are just magnificent.
It's like on the border of needing its own box.
Yeah, it really is. It probably should have been a box, right? And of course, all of the Mornwood characters are in here. I got to be careful because they all are put out. They're pop outs, and just wonderful, wonderful characters. Oh, I showed that one already. My apologies. Yes, that one there, right? Oh, look, it is Elijah Sulrima. Yes. Oh, look, Chris is in the chat. Look at you, Grognik. Yes, my friend, look at you, right here in the middle of the Mornwood.
So what I'd recommend is I start a couple of comments in the chat, but I say let's go ahead and open up the giveaway first.
Oh, you want to do that? Yes. Okay. So it's going to be GYZ. So here's the deal, my friends. We haven't decided on the giveaway, but I think I know what it is. And what you do is, here's how it works. Every time you put in an entry here on Goo Morning Zyathé, every time, you get an extra entry into the giveaway. Most people will only get one entry into the giveaway, but we typically are going to do this over the next 4 or 5 weeks as we finish off the Kickstarter. And at the end of that, we're going to do a giveaway, and it's going to be something special with Guys and Gags.
Do me a favor and tell everybody that the giveaway is not open yet.
Oh, the giveaway's not open
I need
yet.
a second.
So hold on, he's got to, all right, my apologies. I apologize. You're going to have to do this again because he's got to do what he's showing you. Oh, it's not on the screen. No. He's doing this thing called Moobot. Right? And Moobot takes a setup that you have to do and all of that kind of stuff. So don't put it in yet. Don't put it in. You're going to have to put it in again. Well, I'll announce it formally. But everyone who does this, you get a chance to win, and you get extra chances to win. And we're going to do something very special. We'll probably announce it next week when Luke's on the stream, next Saturday when Luke's on the stream, about what you're going to win, but it's going to be something cool. And it'll have to do with Guys and Gags, and we're very excited for it. So... and also, I want to tell you something. For all of you who are on this stream, many of you are really good friends of the Cube, and you're very gooey, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Please do tell your friends, pass out the information, share posts, talk to people, tell them to back this Kickstarter. It's very important for us as Gooey Cube. It's very important for Luke, but it's also just important generally for us to be able to continue to produce these wonderful materials that we do, and also really to build our friends and fans. And we really do believe we're making some of the finest stuff that's ever been made in the industry. I've been told it many, many times. We really believe it. And it is not just us, it's our whole community. And so to the degree you can help us, you can tell people, like I said, if you can stretch a little bit and get the bundle instead of getting just the adventure or the campaign, whatever you can do to help us to really push this thing over the top. We're in these dog days, and it's really hard. We're spending a lot of money on advertising to get the word out there. So whatever you can do to help us, give us a little boost in that would be wonderful.
So the contest is open. Again, it's going to be hashtag GYZ.
Hashtag GYZ.
Yep, most of the audience is already getting it. While we're letting that run, I got a few starred comments that I figure we can go ahead and circle back to.
Let's do it.
So first one is, we might want to have a Gooey community thread on Discord for people with resin printers who can make them for the community.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Absolutely. And then obviously, as we do that, if you guys want to take advantage of that, just make sure you ask whoever the person is, what you can pitch them as far as cost of materials and everything like that, just out of a courtesy.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And some people, we have people who do this actually. Matt, I think, prints for people, and he will do that. The problem is this damn shipping, right? So what you got to do is typically have somebody print 5 or 7 or 10 miniatures at once. So you put them all in one box rather than, having to, and overseas shipping is probably impractical. I would just find a place to print.
Well, I think the idea would be someone who's more local to you kind of thing.
Yes, agreed.
Patrick's talking about asking to run some orders up to Denver for the Mornwood and stuff on Friday. And then obviously, folks, like printing takes a hot minute, so like you better buy them like lunch or like a coffee or something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pain in the old butt, you know.
I heard that Heavy Juice was what Lawrence was bringing up to the GooCon for the Goo, or GaryCon for the Goo House. Yeah, guys, if you guys are going to be over at the Goo House for GaryCon, it's going to be a bit of a party. So
I'll show up at the Goo House for a little bit, and then I'm going to leave because all of you maniacs are going to be maniacking.
Oh,
I don't know what maniacking is, but it sounds dangerous.
Oh, don't you know? Once you sign in, you can never leave. That's how the Goo House works.
Okay, let's continue on.
I love this for like a stretch goal thing also.
Oh, dude, I like that a lot. We got to do it.
I know.
We absolutely
And
have
how
to do
hard,
it.
it's going to be so easy.
And it's perfect for Guys and Gags
Yeah.
because of Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're doing it.
It would actually, it would be great in the adventure. When you entered into the Tomb of Geisengax, that automatically appeared in your inventory, signed from the ghost of Gerald Geisengax.
That's awesome. Okay, all right, we're gonna mess with this a little bit. That's a great idea.
Now, we have a friend who has the largest gaming store in the country who's kind of doing this.
We'll have to have chat. We'll have to chat about this.
Oh, yeah.
So there's more to come on this. There's more to come. We can't talk about this yet, but we are trying to pilot this a little bit, Randy. So just so you know, just more to come. I can't talk more about it. I'll talk more about it later. I've been working on getting some of our modules on Roll20. Chelsea, thank you so much. Please make sure you coordinate it a little bit with Casey because we already have a number of chapters up there already of the Red Star Rising.
And what somebody also said is that apparently a bunch of our stuff pops up in like highlights, our Roll20 highlights.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess
The
it's...
problem is nobody knows. Here's the thing. Here's the problem, my friends. Think about it out there. You know, you think about yourself. You're going on Roll20. You're going on drive-through, whatever. You know, there's just so much material, and you can't really show in a thumbnail the difference between our stuff and most stuff that's out there. You just can't. And so nobody knows Gooey Cube, but that's why this Kickstarter is kind of important to us because honestly, we've picked up, I think, hundreds of people who never have ever seen a Gooey Cube thing before. And Luke is very excited. He loves what we're doing. You know, he loves our materials. He's been so supportive. I can't even tell you. And what a dear man, truly. His appearance, he appears when he's on camera, is very much his soul when I have met with him. We are doing Grogu. Harry, we're going to do Grogu. I've got pictures, so I have to send those to you. So Grogu is definitely going to be a stretch goal. And by the way, Todd, there is you can actually bid back on the Kickstarter for play sessions. You know, so they're already there. We actually had to add some because we were running out. In fact, they may be almost running out again. And I don't know that we can add any more because there's only so much time, you know, that we can do it. And good to see you, by the way, Todd. Marvelous. Your last post was marvelous. Todd runs Creative Adventure Tables, which is a magnificent group, which if you haven't seen it, tremendous terrain pictures, fantastic community, and he posts a lot in the Gooey Den as well. Love you, Todd. Appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. And for our contest, I'm going to check to see how many we got in here.
Yeah, make sure you just put in hashtag GYZ. Make sure you've done that so you get an entry into the contest.
Yep, looks like we're sitting at 38 people out of the 56 in the chat.
Okay, some of you have missed, so make sure you do that. If you're in the chat, put in hashtag GYZ.
Absolutely.
Make sure you're doing that, my friends.
Let's see here. Double checking through the chat right here and see Hotel California.
Yes, Chet, you can check out anytime you like. You just can't ever leave. What is that Prism Scroll app? What is that? I don't know about that.
Look at the Prism Scroll app for character creation idea.
Okay, we'll take a peek at that. We'll make sure we capture this one. There's a star of that one too, I think. So we've got that. Make sure you're putting in hashtag GYZ, my friends, so you get an entry into this special Guys and Gags giveaway. All
And
right?
then Geeky Hoodie was also talking about many public libraries also have 3D printers.
That is true now. Geeky is right. Thank you for the encouraging words this morning, Geeky. I'm getting a lot of messages, and they are all well appreciated. Thank you so much. Lawrence, I think we are run way over. We better let these folks go.
100%.
They need to be able to get out of here.
So what are we giving away?
I'm not telling yet. We're going to tell it next weekend when we talk to Luke.
Okay. So we leaving this open right now? We
right now you just entered to win something. You don't know what you entered to win.
Gotcha. So are we drawing a winner?
No.
We're drawing a winner next weekend.
No.
We're drawing a weekend.
We are going to, at the end of Guys and Gags.
Okay.
Then we're going to give this away, and we're going to continue to add entries, and we might give away more than one.
Gotcha.
So we just need to make sure we preserve the chat because we have to go through and pull out everybody's name.
So in 22 days, we'll find out if you won.
24 days, something like that, whatever it is. How are we looking on the Kickstarter? Can we get any further backers?
Let's hit this with a refresh. Bam.
Let's see what happened. Well,
actually, yeah, I think somebody increased their thing because we just bumped up to, where are we at here? Here we go. 321, 467.
Yep, that's fantastic. Thank you for helping us, my friends. We are getting very close to the next level. It'll be slow now for 20 days, but if you tell people and encourage people to support us, that would be magnificent. My friends, thank you so much for this day. Lawrence, thank you for your help. You are magnificent, even if you're in a muscle shirt.
I think the audience likes it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. Oh my gosh, that was the most muscular pose by a guy named Zane. I knew about this. Anyway, long ago. Much love, much appreciation. May all your adventures, my friends,
be sticky.
Ha ha!